Good day, YouTubers. Thanks for joining me. This is video 27 in my series of videos on Ontario Northland models and HO. And today we're taking a look at Athearn Boxcars, both Athearn Ready to Roll and Athearn Genesis boxcars that have been offered since the early 2000s. And what I wanted to talk about first here was this 40-foot boxcar model. You've seen me refer back to this in a few different videos that we've done, because to date this is the only somewhat accurate representation of a modified 40-foot boxcar on the Ontario Northland Railway. Athearn did these back in 2008 in two different road numbers, 91018 and 91035, which I don't have but am looking for. And it's accurate that these boxcars were rebuilt with the wider 8-foot doors, I believe. What's not accurate is the style of end here. These boxcars would have still featured that NSC 2 style end, which this does not. But otherwise, this is as good as it gets right now anyway. There are 3 more of these cars numbers being released here in the very near future, a current production by Athearn, and they're releasing car numbers 91019, 91024, and 91039, which are accurate for the road series that Ontario Northland used for those rebuilt cars. What I wanted to talk about next was another somewhat recent production by Athearn, some 5,277 cubic foot standard boxcars, these based on the Pullman standard design. And these cars were released in, just reminding myself here, 2010. Now, they offered 3 road numbers, 7849, which we'll take a look at here, 7852, and just out of the shot, 7854. Now, these are not really prototypically accurate. The Ontario Northland had cars in the 7800 series that were built by Saeco, originally built for the St. Lawrence Railway back, I think in the late 70s, 1978, and acquired by the Ontario Northland in 1983. So they had over 100 of these cars, and there are some differences between the Pullman Standard and the Saeco cars. The doors being one, some of the style of the side and the roof. So not a great prototypical match, but still a 50-foot boxcar painted for the Ontario Northland Railway, which is good enough for a lot of us. So like I spoke earlier, road number 7849, 7852, and finally 7854. Now, interestingly enough, previous to this, Athearn had released under their Genesis line a batch of 50-foot boxcars that do somewhat more accurately represent the Ontario Northland's cars. So it's interesting that their older production run more accurately captures the prototypical model, but I believe that they offered these in 8 different road numbers, and I'm not sure if that was spread out over multiple production runs or not, but I assume so. And I haven't been able to find a lot of information here. I know that these were 900,000 series SKU numbers for Athearn Genesis, so that I am aware that SKUs 9,000 through 9,007 appear to be Ontario Northland 50-foot boxcars. I've got road numbers 7832, as can be seen here, 7833, 7837, 7839, 7840, and then out of frame for you, 7841. I am aware of car 7830. And as to what the other road numbers are, your guess is as good as mine. If anyone out there knows better, that would be great. Now, what's not right with these cars are the ends. They've got a somewhat dreadnought style end to them. The actual end of the car did not look like that. The other thing that's not right with these cars is the actual cars had longer grab irons here on the ends and smaller foot steps or whatever I should be calling them at the bottom of the car. Now, I'll take a look at this car in much greater detail in a later video, but just to show you what I'm talking about here, this is a very recent release from Evans that illustrates that wider grab handle, the wider or the smaller foot stub, and a more accurate representation of what the end of the boxcar actually looked like. But again, we'll get to that in a subsequent video. In regards to what the packaging looked like, both that 40-foot boxcar and the Pullman Standard would have come in a box that looks something like this. So Athearn ready to roll, reflecting some of what we're used to seeing some of the current packaging looking like. And then on the Saeco cars, so Athearn Genesis packaging, something along the lines of this. And like I was saying, 900,000 series. Finally, just to show you, so this is a duplicate road number for me, but when I've been hunting for these cars used, I managed to pick up this car, and it had already been weathered. So someone has done a nice job, and it's a good illustration of how those yellows and such really dull out with a bit of grime and such applied. So someone did a nice job with this. And despite it being a duplicate road number, I've maintained it in my collection with the idea it might look a little more in place on a layout than the brand new clean cars. I will leave it there for today. I hope to have another video up very soon. Thanks again.